You know, it can actually be tough sometimes to find some spring, summer, fresh-oriented fragrances that will actually get you through an entire day, whether it be a school day or a work day or whatever it is that you're doing. Because one of the main arguments that you'll see to a fragrance that doesn't perform good is to carry a sample, carry a decant with you, or carry the bottle with you. And that does work, but how many of us actually want to do that? Probably not that many of you guys, and I know I really don't either. I will make exceptions for fragrances if they don't perform good, but I really like them. But usually that's going to be when I'm at home and I'm wearing it for my personal enjoyment. When it comes to going out and I want a scent that will last longer, I just choose something else and that's the end of it. And that's what we have here. We have 7 spring fragrances that will actually last through the entire day. You don't have to worry about performance with these. Some actually may be a little bit too strong for some of you out there. So I guess in a way you could worry about performance, but not in the way that you normally would when it comes to warm weather scents like these. And these could work for summer, at least some of these could as well, but being that we're not quite there yet, I kind of wanted to focus this around spring, also going into summer. I will link these up down below to discounters as well, so you can get some of the best prices on these. Let's go and get this kicked off with Chrome Extreme by AZZARO. C notes orange, juniper berries, cashmerean. Smells like Acqua di Gio Profondo for about $36 for 100 milliliter, which is absolutely insane. Typically going rate, even still for these, is low to mid 50s for 100 mil. But I will link it down below to where you can get this for, again, 36, 100 milliliter. That's an insane price on this one. Typically Chrome is around in that price point, but for whatever reason, Extreme has taken a long time to get down to that point, and in a lot of places it still isn't even close. Now there are differences between this and Profondo, but the principle kind of stays the same here. It's an aquatic, kind of orangey scent up top with a good amount of aroma chemicals, musks, some light woods in the base. Smells fantastic. This DNA is great. Smells great in the heat, whether it be high heat or more mild temperatures. It's good for all age ranges as well. Doesn't lean too youthful or too old school smelling. It's kind of right there in the middle, and it's a great pickup for the price that also does have really good performance. New release up next, we have POLO BLEU Parfum. So this one here for me is going to be more spring oriented. Like I said, some could work into summer. This one, I guess it could, but for me, I kind of see it more as a spring daytime scent or potentially a summer evening scent once we get to that point. Vetiver orange, clary sage, oak are some of the main notes. Smells amazing. I love this stuff. I've done a first impressions, and if you watch that, you'll see off the opening, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's okay, I guess. Smells like POLO BLEU, but trust me, guys, the dry down is where you need to be. Like, don't pay any attention to the opening. I mean, maybe you'll like the opening if you like POLO BLEU, but off the first rip, to some, it may seem redundant. It may seem pointless, but you have to stick with it and get into the dry down, get into the base. It gets so much more aromatic, so much more mature, has a little bit of a spicy, kind of semi-warm, woody kick underneath as well, which really gives it a lot of depth, and it makes it very interesting. On paper, seeing that it's just POLO BLEU but a parfum version, it may look boring and the opening may fool you, but trust me, the dry down and even smelling it off the atomizer, that is very nice, very mature, smells great in the springtime. I've been wearing it a lot here lately. I don't know if you can see, it's going to be a little bit too dark, but there's already a dent happening in this bottle. I love this stuff. Let's go over to a niche fragrance up next. We have Parfums de Marly GREENLEY. Bergamot, green apple, oak moss, some other woods going on in here as well. Fruity, citrusy, woody, and of course green, right? You would expect it to be, and it is green, aromatic. My girlfriend loves this stuff. I've told this story already, but I finally got around to purchasing a bottle of it. And when I got it in, I just sprayed it up in the air just to smell it. It had been a while since I had smelled it previously from a sample. And my girlfriend was sitting across the room, and as I was walking out actually to go record, she's like, "What did you spray up in the air?" and it was Greenley. It had made its way from where I was standing all the way across the room over to where she was, and she loved it. Still does. This is going to be one that I'm going to wear a lot this summer, and it also has really good performance. Another one that you could put from the same brand and from the same line would be something like Sedley. It's ambroxan, citrus, a little bit musky as well, but I also really like Sedley. Also happens to be a great performer, but Greenley's kind of the newer addition to my collection that I've really been enjoying a lot. This will get you through an entire spring or summer day. Something a little bit different up next. We have BLEU by Rituals. Juniper berries, watermint, and pine tree are actually the 3 notes that they give us. Note breakdown may seem a little bit strange. Maybe not strange, but just different, right? But it smells great. It is very, very vibrant and juicy. Actually, I need to spray this one. I need to get the opening of this here. Wow. I mean, that hits you. It's like I don't even know. You know, like the fruit snack gushers, when you bite into them and you just get that, whatever it is, kind of sour, fruity, sweet, sour, sugary all at once. That's kind of like what this one is, man. It pops off and hits hard right off the bat. You know, juicy, sweet. It has a little bit of this kind of almost bubblegummy blue fragrance smell, but also done in a way different way. Could this be classified as a blue fragrance? I guess to some it could, but to me it leans so much further away from Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, all of those, to where it's kind of on the line. You know, of course, it is called BLEU, so maybe that's what they are going for. But it really is a different approach on that DNA. It's got good performance. Quality is great. And this is something that really no one else around you is going to be wearing. And so this will immediately have you standing out from the rest. And also, it'll stick around on your skin for the whole day. It's actually a very strong projector. When I first got this one in, sprayed it on, and I'm like, holy crap. I was walking around doing stuff around the house. It was kicking strong for a good amount of time. Big projection, good longevity. Discontinued fragrance up next, but the reason why I'm featuring it still is because you can still get it on discounters. Price is creeping up, supply is running out, but is still able to be purchased. And I wanted to also throw it in just to kind of give you, I guess, your next reminder that, hey, if you haven't gotten a backup bottle of this one yet, or you haven't gotten a bottle at all yet, and you want one, now would be the time, like right now, because as soon as summer really starts to ramp up, people are going to be buying up the rest of this stuff like crazy, and it hurts my heart. But it's Aqua Atlantique. I've already gotten my backup bottles, don't you worry. I've gotten backup bottles before I even thought this would ever be discontinued, so I'm good now, but it still sucks. C notes, ambergris, ambroxan, bergamot, all of that good stuff. You guys know it. This is a blue fragrance, right? If you're a little bit iffy on BLEU, this one definitely is here. And it's one of my favorites. One of the strongest performing blue fragrances on me and aquatic fragrances on me. It's the best of both worlds and one of the strongest ones. In terms of summer fragrances, spring fragrances, fresh fragrances, aquatic fragrances, whatever. At this price point of, at one time, $40, now a bit more than that. Absolute mind blower. I mean, the stuff has always worked well for me. It's always resonated with me. It doesn't work for everybody. Skin chemistry is a crazy thing. Some people say it smells like eggs or ham or something along those lines. I've heard both of those. I've never gotten that smell. My girlfriend hasn't either. She smelled it on me a lot. I wear this all the time in the summer. Other people have smelled this on me and they haven't gotten that either. So skin chemistry, it's what it is, I'm sure. And so, you know, maybe it will smell that way to you. Maybe it won't. Have no way of knowing unless you try it. But it's just that. Eventually, you're not going to be able to try it anymore. Stock is going to dry up to the point where they're going for $200+ on eBay, and don't pay that price for it. You can find something else. But if you could still get this one for a decent price, I would say go for it. Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. Vetiver, lemon, and pink pepper. I believe this is a 3-note breakdown scent. That's the only 3 I wrote down. I don't know if they listed more or not. But it's really all you need to know. I like it. I much prefer it over the EDP. And I definitely prefer it over the EDT as well. EDT is not for me, too synthetic for me. And I know people are going to immediately pile on and say, oh, niche snob, synthetic, whatever. No, I love Nautica Voyage. I love a lot of cheapies. Not afraid to admit it. Love cheapies, right? And I talk about mostly cheapy to affordable designer stuff on the channel. I don't cover niche all that often, but I do call it and tell the truth when I feel as though something doesn't work for me. I'm not going to lie and say that I like Cool Water EDT when I don't. The EDP was a nice improvement, but a little bit sweet, so not really the best summertime scent for me. And Parfum actually is still kind of heavy and rich, but not quite in the same direction as the EDP. I also find that the quality has been improved extensively from the EDT up until now, the Parfum. This one's smooth, not headache inducing or synthetic by any means, and a really nice summer scent that has great performance. And again, I should mention as well, not going to be your traditional summer scent. A lot of these other ones here are much more fresh than this one. Still some richness out of this, so probably more spring or summer evening, or if you just want a different take on a summer fragrance. I just thought I would throw that in so you don't get thrown off too much. A little bit different here. And we're going to end this video with just a beast mode scent all around. A lot of these are, but this one especially. Invictus Legend by PACO Rabanne. Mine is a tester. That's why it says it on the front. So if you don't like that look right there, then don't buy a tester. Just because pictures don't always show that testers come this way, but they do. So if you don't like that, don't buy the tester. For me, I don't care. So hey, save a couple bucks, whatever. C notes, what is it? Amber and sea salt, I should have known. Bay leaf as well. Very, very sweet, but still summery. It's like a bright sweetness, kind of like just AZZARO Wanted, Invictus, that type of DNA, but this one's more salty, a little bit of a different take. It seems, as of right now anyway, that this is kind of the replacement to Invictus Aqua, because now they discontinued the 2018 version, so there's no more Invictus Aqua that they're making. I guess at the time of me recording this, with what's out there on the market now, this would be kind of the closest, I guess, to that, even though it's still not Invictus Aqua-y all that much. It is kind of a more watery, sea salty take. I don't know, still sweet. You know, it really does have this richness to it, though. Works great in spring evenings. If you're going to a party, a concert, whatever outdoor event, you're going to be set. And hey, I'll go as far as to say summer evenings, because here's the thing. While us fragrance guys may look at something like this and be like, oh, too sweet for summer, do you think the general public are going to echo that thought? Absolutely not. People are going to be buying whatever they can get their hands on, dousing themselves in 25 sprays, and then going to a concert in the evening in summertime. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen with Spice Bomb. It's going to happen with Aqua de Jo, Absolu. That could work. I was more leaning towards Armani Code Absolu or Profumo. That stuff happens. It's the reality. People that aren't us do that type of stuff with whatever fragrance. And so for me, I try to be a little bit more lax on it. Yeah, you could wear this in summer evenings. Summer days, also, sure, I wouldn't do it. I feel like I would want to scrub it off immediately because of how strong it is. But a lot of people will, and you know what? At the end of the day, it will work for them. It will get them compliments, and this will last you through the entire day. Alrighty, that's going to do it for me. 7 spring fragrances that last the whole day. Good performers here. If you actually want something with substance that will stay on your skin no matter what you're doing in the warmer weather, these are going to be for you. I will provide links to these down below so you can check them out and pick them up. And I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy the weather, and we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.